Our countdown to kickoff coverage is continuing, and we're heading out to Oakland with Larry Beil of KGO News. The Oakland Raiders, they were 8-8 last season. This is the first time, I believe, since 1963, yes, that Al Davis will not be with the team. His son took over. He hired Reggie Mckenzie as the general manager, and the first guy they hired, first fired as head coach, was Hugh Jackson. The first guy they hired was Dennis Allen, a 39-year-old. He's the 18th head coach in Raiders history. What exactly does Dennis Allen bring to the table that maybe Hugh Jackson did not?
Well, in Hugh's defense, a lot of things went wrong last year. Not all of them were of his doing. I kind of liked him from the media perspective, actually, because Hugh had a lot of good lines. One of his lines was, "We're going to build a bully," except they didn't. A lot of the time, especially on the defensive side of the ball, they were bullied and pushed around incessantly, and that's part of the reason why Dennis Allen has arrived, because he's got the defensive mindset. And for the first time since Al Davis was patrolling the sidelines back, as you mentioned, in the 60s, the Raiders are going to be led by a coach who's defense first. And that had not been the case under Mr. Davis's tenure of 5 decades, where he was really, calling the shots all the way through. So I think that's the premise. I mean, a lot of other things have taken place. Reggie Mckenzie totally changing the look and the feel of the roster. It used to be the Raiders would go to the draft and the combine, and all you had to do was look at the 5 fastest guys on the board pretty much at every position, and that's who the Raiders were going to draft, because Al loved speed. In some cases that has worked out. In a lot of cases it really has not. And so you get a bunch of guys that would look great running the 4x100 relay but can't catch a ball. Mm-hmm. And so I think everything is changing within the Raider organization. I think what makes it tough, though, is it's hard to compete while you're trying to make wholesale changes on the fly. It's hard to be a playoff team and totally overhauling your roster and character of your organization.
Talk to me a little bit about the 4th rounder out of San Diego State University, Miles Burris. It appears that he has, well, at least from what I've read, taken over the starting job from Aaron Curry, who is suffering, I believe, from sore knees. Would you say that he is absolutely, positively starting Week 1?
I couldn't tell you who's absolutely positively doing anything for the Raiders in Week 1. The linebacker's a position of need. Curry's situation is PUP, physically unable to play because of injury, so that creates a void there. But Rolando McClain at middle linebacker, huge question mark on and off the field, trouble in the off season, and not great play on the field during the season. So I think the linebackers are iffy. The secondary is iffy. I mean, you've got a couple of guys up front in Seymour and Kelly, who I think they're going to count on a lot. But even on the other side of the ball, I mean, you could look at every position. And, probably the most important position for the Raiders. I mean, their success may rely almost, I don't want to say almost exclusively, but so heavily on the health of Darren McFadden that to talk about anybody else, I don't know that anybody else really matters if he's not healthy.
Agreed. Let me ask you, though, about the tight ends. I mean, as I highlighted earlier, they had Zach Miller, they lost Zach Miller. They had Kevin Boss, and now they've lost Kevin Boss to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I look at their roster, and at the tight end position, I don't recognize. I feel like this is Major League when it's the Major League the movie. Like, who the hell are these guys?
Come on, David Osbury doesn't scare you.
David Osbury, Richard Gordon.
USC, that's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm not an LA guy, Larry. I'm a Chicago boy. Richard Gordon, Torrey Humphrey, Brandon Myers. I mean, who are these guys?
Well, again, though, you have to look at the larger picture here, which is you have a roster overhaul that's taking place, and it's being done on the fly. Yeah. Now, I'll say this. I really thought that Zach Miller's impact would be much more significant on the field in terms of him not being there. And I don't know. I mean, he didn't do much going up to Seattle, right?
Right.
I mean, he was lost in the shuffle up there. And so I don't know that was as much of a factor. It didn't seem on the field. And maybe it was in the locker room. We just don't know. But I don't know that was a huge deal. And, as far as the tight ends are concerned, We'll see. I think that's why I'm not overly optimistic. When we started talking before we did the interview, I think it's really hard to project greatness for the Raiders, as Mr. Davis used to say, because you just have so much turnover and flux at every position, it seems.
Yeah.
And even where you have McFadden, given his injury woes, okay, then the backup is Taiwan Jones, who's as fast as lightning, but he's hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's look at their playmakers. Well, Denarius Moore was terrific last year when healthy, and he's missed all of the preseason. So find me a healthy guy, and then we can talk about how many games they're going to win.
Can we go back to Kevin Boss, or was it Kevin Boss?
Kevin Boss or Zach Miller?
No.
Or David Osbury.
Zach Miller. Zach Miller. You were dogging Zach Miller there for a second, but let me ask you this. Couldn't you make a case, and I'll come to, if he's watching, Zach Miller, I'm on your side on this.
No, I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm just saying.
Tavares Jackson and Charlie Whitehurst were his quarterbacks last year. Can't you make the case for him?
Sure. No, I'm look, I mean, maybe it will all be better with Russell Wilson in Seattle. I don't know. Everybody loves that guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that Zach Miller was an unimportant player. I'm just saying I'm not sure that the Raiders finish any better than 8-8 with him than they did without him. That's all.
Okay.
So I mean, we could highlight every position, and we could talk about, okay, who's going to play guard, who's going to play. I mean, and you can raise questions because, again, everything is changing with, you look at the blocking schemes that the Raiders have employed. Greg Knapp is the offensive coordinator now, and they're going back to the zone blocking system, which they used a few years ago under Tom Cable, because that's what they're more comfortable with, or at least he's more comfortable with. So everything is up in the air.
Well, what about the wide receivers? I mean, you talked about Denarius Moore. If he stays healthy, he can be really good. So,
and Darius Heyward-Bey.
And Darius Heyward-Bey. I was going to say, last year when we talked, you said that he has to focus on his drops. Has he improved at all to become, obviously you got Denarius Moore, you got Jacoby Ford is who I'm thinking of.
When healthy.
When healthy. Rod Streeter has become a Carson Palmer target in the preseason. I mean, start with Heyward-Bey. Is he totally... granted,
no,
you didn't say
I'm not even letting you finish the question. I'm not. No.
He's not the number one?
No. Number one on a team that is not blessed with great wide receivers. No, Denarius. I'd much rather throw to Denarius Moore all day long. But the Raiders drafted DHB a few years ago, thinking that he was going to be the next big thing. Ironically, the Raiders got roasted because they didn't take Michael Crabtree, who ends up across the bay with the 49ers and has done not a lot there either.
Right. So
neither one of those guys have really come close to what the pre-draft hype was supposed to be about. But supposedly his hands are better in this. But it tells you something that in the preseason, the receivers that got most of the passes thrown their way and caught them were Rod Streeter and Jerron Kreiner. Okay, and Jerron Kreiner was he's the typical guy the Raiders would never touch in years past because he didn't run a 4.3 40. He's like a 4.6 guy out of Arizona. But he's big and he's strong and he catches seemingly everything. So we'll see how it goes and what the Raiders really do offensively. But I wouldn't want to say the key to my season is going to be DHB's production because it just hasn't been there in the past. There's nothing to suggest that suddenly he's going to turn into this, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about a lot basically with this team. If they can be healthy, if this guy can be healthy, if that guy can be healthy. I mean, the over-under on this team is 7 wins. I mean, there's no way I would ever take the over or even try to push. I would go with the under. I imagine you would go with the under quickly. Is that a yes or a no?
That's an affirmative.
Okay.
I think 6-10, given the transition that's taking place, I think it's hard to expect more than that. The diehard Raider fans, and I heard from some of them last year when they were doing better as a result of the show. In fact, they would email me and tell me, how dumb I was, which, is fair, except they didn't make the playoffs again. We'll see how it goes this year, but I think it's, it would be overly enthusiastic to assume that new coach, new organizational structure, quarterback coming back, question marks with the health of the key players on the team, that suddenly they're going to be 10-6 instead of 6-10.
But I mean, let's just do it for fun. The what if game.
6-10.
What if they are healthy though? What if they are healthy?
What if they are healthy? Then it would be great. Well, then I don't know. Then anything is possible, right? That's what you often say. Anything is possible, could happen. Maybe it is. I mean, well, we'll find out. Monday night, September 10th, against the San Diego Chargers. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the teams in their division, are the Raiders on paper, even if healthy, are they better than the Chargers? And are they better than Peyton Manning and the Broncos if he's healthy?
Yeah.
You tell me.
I would probably go with no. I mean, to be honest with you, with the Chargers, I mean, look, I'll be the first, and I have my co-host Ben Mankiewicz has routinely turned me into a Norv Turner hater. So with Norv Turner,
I like Ben. I'm with him.
Yeah, we'll have you guys talk. We'll connect you guys on LinkedIn or something. But honestly, I mean, with the Chargers, I think they're way better than the Raiders, and with the Broncos, if Peyton stays healthy, yeah, I think the Broncos will probably finish better than the Raiders. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're with me then?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, it's settled.
Okay then, a lot to look forward to with Raider Nation in the Black Hole this year. Larry Beil of KGO News, always an entertaining conversation. Thank you so much, and we'll have you on again soon.
Okay, when they win their first 8 games, maybe I'll come on and you could say, didn't you say that they had no chance?
If they have a big upset, this year, do you promise to come on the day after?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely, and be mocked when they beat New Orleans on November 18th when they take down the Saints.